gonna try to get this recorded in between laundry. Alright, you see that display is attached up there. This is the LVLB46 board. It's got this is a 586 AMD. This is purely on the board itself, which I hope kind of gives it a little bit of advantage with cooling and hopefully stability and such. This here is an ATI mach64 ISA card. Here is a very familiar looking WinBond ILTIO card, which is really just being used for the IDE. Got it connected to a CF card adapter. This is bare minimum effort. This is an M912 PC chips version 1.4 motherboard. And I have 1 meg of cache, which probably shouldn't matter, and 16 megs of fast page memory. Again, shouldn't matter that much, but it's there. And let's see what we got, because I did a test run and it looks like everything's good, at least for Doom. These are the numbers I'm trying to beat. Unfortunately, I'm going to just put it on conventional memory only. Unfortunately, this boot partition decides that it's got too much Windows involved and thinks that the registry should be existing. Let me turn this light off real quick. You can see how the setup is basically set up. There's not really much to it. Just 2 cards and I set the yeah, let me show what I got here. So, oh, that glare's not gonna be kind to me. Why is... Ah, there we go. Is there a way for me to zoom in? Yes. Okay. Oh, I can't even see what I'm typing. So a quick check CPU shows that I'm doing the AM586 in 3x clock mode at 150-ish megahertz. L1 cache is enabled in write-back mode. I'm having some issues with cache, so maybe if somebody has less issues with the cache, in fact, let me show what those issues are real quick. Well, no, let me do the Doom test, and then I'll get to the issues that I was dealing with. So, Doom loads basically instantly, which is really hilarious. I guess due to the way this whole thing's set up. If I remember correctly, if this is matching the test run, it should come out to about 3-ish more frames per second. I'll double check the math afterwards, but it's going to be around, it should be roughly the same each run anyway. I also saw that V-Switch0 has already beaten his own record, so I figured I needed to punch something out here real quick, because I thought about it and then somehow I managed to, yeah, I think that's about the same result. 1,959 real ticks. So if that comes up with the amount that we're looking for, then that's we gotta do 2 for the 3D bench. That one's the easier one to figure out what the frames are, because you don't have to do math for it. Kind of wish there was a way to put the math on the thing. So 3D Bench 1.0C was doing 65.3 for him, only 65.5 on here. So it doesn't look like the mach64 really does much difference in this particular one, or any of the differences that I made. I actually do want to do a Quake briefly just to see if it operates better. He didn't do any sort of test on Quake, but I just want to see what kind of frame rate we get in here. Is this anywhere near 25 frames per second? Let's do ISA Quake 25 frames per second. The additional cache would actually work out to a little bit here, probably. Please don't. I don't really think it's getting 25 frames per second yet. This feels, I think, like 20-ish at best. Yeah, sort of the genius of this was... Oh, jeez. That's definitely not nowhere near 20 frames per second. 8.8, jeez. I don't know how that felt like 20. It didn't feel that bad. But, oh well. Sort of the genius of... If so, you have a board that's kind of basically made to be on another bus, you can kind of overclock the ISA bus, and as long as you don't have too many things going on the ISA bus, it shouldn't have too much of an issue. But yeah, cache check for some reason is having some weird issues here. Like, you see how crazy fast my cache is, at least for the then it, like, for the first megabyte, it just, like the cache doesn't work for megabyte 1. I don't know why. Like, actually, this is kind of crazy because this is actually better than what I got for results before. Like, it was a thing like 8 millisecond and 12 millisecond, falling into like 26 or 27 millisecond per kilobyte before. Which, I mean, that's not that far off, but when you're going into this single digit numbers, like, every little tiny bit can count sometimes. But yeah, it's gonna be testing all 16 megabytes, which is gonna be taking too much problem. But and then it goes to write caching, and it just goes like, you don't have any write caching. Great. Which I think is kind of normal, because it doesn't seem like caching really affects the write performance as well, especially when you do write through. But yeah, I'm sure there's going to be better ways of doing this, and you'll get people that can get better, crazier. If somebody has a 1.7 version of this board, they can actually throw a Pentium overdrive on there and get all the extra little bits over and over again. Oh, the right cache actually worked this time. I don't know what's going on with this. It's just sort of like the cache sort of pretends to not be there sometimes when you're doing writing. But only things that he has the one cache, and that megabyte number 1 is the main cache at all for some reason. And it doesn't even tell me what the oh yeah, it does. First cache is at 57.2 megabytes. Technically, the level 1 cache goes at like almost like 100 megabytes per second, but I don't know. I don't know why there's so much issue. Alright, I'm just making this real quick. I'm going to double check to make sure there's nothing else I can squeeze out of this, but, and I'll put the math down below in any descriptions or anything. I just want to put this out real quick just so you can see there is some room. This might be actually even just a motherboard differential. I'm going to try with the mach32 real quick because I have one of those sitting around here. I was actually going to use the mach32 for one of my projects, but managed to find a mach64 just in time for this mess. And yeah, like SpeedSys will show that it looks like we have... Huh? Unless the SpeedSys just crashed the system. I'm probably not going to be running this. All this setting is very long. Huh. Oh well. I mean, another thing for me to look at. Cool.